What's going on, guys? This is Pikachu OTC from Simple Trade, and welcome to another weekly review in which I'll be talking about some runners from the past week. But boy, what a week we had. A war with Russia against Ukraine, massive panics all over the market, and somehow the last 2 days after the war was so-called declared, the market was green. And when I say green, I mean green. Now, I'm not going to go into the details of what's going on between Russia and Ukraine. You can go and do so yourself, because we're not here to talk about politics. We're here to talk about stocks. But the situation between Russia and Ukraine made the stock market go into panic mode, and stocks absolutely crashed and broke their supports only because of the fear of the uncertainty of what's going on with the market. So I will show you a lot of examples of stocks that gapped down massively. I'm talking about 20 to 25, even maybe 30% gap down, only because of that fear of this war. But very unexpectedly, the stocks, after the gap down, started to rise, and we had so many beautiful runs. I'm talking about 50, 60, 70, even 100% runs in 2 days. Some of them are very, very liquid. So the opportunities that we had last week were absolutely golden. So now let's go and talk about the first stock, and that stock is ICOA. We already covered up this stock so many times in this channel, so if you're not familiar with ICOA story, make sure to go and watch the previous videos so you understand the full background of ICOA. So first of all, as you can see on the chart, we had 8 green straight days, absolutely wonderful. And you can see right here that on February 24th, which was the day of the declaration of the war, the stock gapped down from here, about 13-14% of a gap down, and then continued to drop down a little further for 22% down from the previous day. And from that point, it went up about 40%, very liquid right here, and the stock closed at the price of the 0099, almost at the penny mark, where we have such a resistance over here, and it might be broken due to the following catalysts. Now let's talk about what changed from the previous video, and it is a roadmap for ICOA 2022 first, second, and third quarter. So as you can see right now on their screen, this is the roadmap that they uploaded. Strategic joint venture to acquire technology that will enable ICOA to create a global advertising network of digital billboards for blockchain. IBG robo-advisor beta launch. In one click, users will be able to invest and gain exposure to today's biggest crypto trends. Expected launch of the BGBF2, a sub-fund of VCC structure that is regulated under the Monetary Authority of Singapore. Setting up a blockchain R&D center focused on NFT and metaverse joint ventures with industries trendsetters and masters developments. And as you can see, there is more and more Reg A capital to raise finance, new project opportunities, acquisitions, and company expansion, entering the metaverse space through partnership with a prominent launchpad, press release to follow, and more. So you can see that the company has very, very good plans in the near future for 2022. But the main catalyst, and probably the main reason that the stock started this rally and might even continue, is the fact that on March 8th, they are going to have a CNBC exposure, as there will be an interview live. Now, CNBC exposure is very, very strong catalyst for this stock, because as more people will understand that the current market cap of ICOA is extremely low to their assets, to their 425 million, and more people might understand that this is currently, by market cap speaking, only very, very, very undervalued and very cheap. Now let me be clear once again, just because the market cap is lower than their assets does not mean that the stock will go up, and just because there is CNBC exposure does not mean that the stock will go up. This is purely a review, but I can promise you this: as we get closer to March 8th, the volatility of the stock will be higher. So overall, we had a 150% run on a very, very liquid stock. You can see the volume, about 100 million each day or even more, which is very liquid for these price areas. We're talking about around 1 million, even $2 million worth of trades in these green days. And now let me show you some stocks that gapped down massively because of the Russia-Ukraine situation and then started a rally, a 2-day rally with absolutely wonderful percents. The first one will be JPEX, JPEX. First of all, this is 5-minute candle chart. As you can see right now, you can see right here a massive red candle. 3.3 million shares were sold right at the opening, and it gapped down and got to the price of 0076, and yesterday it was on the price of almost a penny. And then it started the run of 97%, almost 100% from that panic sale. And you can see that on Friday, the stock absolutely went nuts and got all the way up to 1.5 penny. Now, one of the reasons that JPEX got up so high is because this is a cybersecurity stock. And it appears that these cybersecurity stocks are now gonna get hotter and hotter because of the Russia-Ukraine situation. So keep your eyes out for some cyber stocks. They might get a sympathy and go up as well. The second stock that gapped down and ran just like this one or almost the same is CYBL, also covered up in the channel multiple times. You can see right here that the stock gapped down almost 27%. It is absolutely insane. It closed on the price of almost a penny and gapped down to 0075. And what do you know, went up 2 days straight for 65% gains. Also very liquid right here. Another stock is OWUV, also covered up in this channel before, and it closed on the price of 0.1146 and gapped down 25% to 0.855 and ran about 63%. As you can see right here, they are all a 5-minute candle chart, so you can see the gap down and you can see that the massive volume right at the opening. Just watch, 400,000 shares at this price. This is a lot of money right here. And one more stock, PHIL, Phil, also covered up in this channel. You can see massive red candle right here. 70 million shares were dumped on this 5 minutes. This is absolutely insane. And from that point, the stock went up 86% with very high liquidity. I'm talking about almost 100,000 worth of dollars that you could have bought and sold with almost no effect for the price action. As you can see, the massive candles, this is 5-minute candles, and you can see here 34 million shares, you can see 18 million shares. So this is a very liquid stock, and the opportunity here was absolutely insane. And now let's move on to the final stock of this weekly review, a stock that ran about 180%. Very high liquidity on that day, and that stock is ZAAG. And the first thing that you see is massive green candle here in the volume and here at the chart. 835 million worth of shares were traded that day, and I'm not going to cover the full story of ZAAG because the main reason that the stock rides so hard was mostly because of level 2 manipulations and strong manipulations overall. Some of these manipulations were wash trades, so the volume of the stock is much higher due to those wash trades. Now, how do I know that? Because I followed that stock the entire day, and I even alerted on our Discord channel about the manipulation here, so that people should be careful, as when those manipulations will go away, the stock price might not stay as high as it got. Now, ZAAG is a pink current information stock. Its float is about 1.3 billion. So for a TRIP stock, this float is very, very good. And as you can see, high volume like 800 million in one day can move the stock 180%. Now, one of the things that actually pushed this manipulation and all of this buying is their Twitter page, as they tweeted to answer a few emails publicly. Yes, we expect to have more news surrounding acquisitions, expansion, and other items soon. Possibly as early as next week. We'll keep the market updated as things progress. And then they tweeted a couple of hours later, excited we're finalizing another large announcement and joint venture launch. In addition to the acquisition next week, more news to be released. Now, one more thing that you should know about that specific day is that the company diluted about 100 million shares, and it is a very common thing that happens in the OTC. The company tweets a good news to dilute and to not affect the price of the stock so hard. So given the fact that there were two very, very good tweets, and there was about 100 million shares that were diluted, and also very, very strong manipulations that got the stock up, we had a 180% run in one day. Now keep your eyes for ZAAG next week and maybe try to spot these manipulations if they are still there, and if they're not, see the price action of this stock. But what I will be following up is the large announcement and the joint venture that they should, as they said, launch early next week. If it will be something good, this might be just day one. And that was it about the weekly review. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to drop a like, comment down below, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell notification button so you don't miss these kind of videos. Remember something that I always says: when there is crisis, there are opportunities, and in the OTC, where there is crisis, there are massive opportunities. So if you want to find and spot these kind of opportunities, if you're having hard time to find them, make sure to join our Discord channel. The link is down in the description, and I wish you all a green and a very profitable week.